You never forget your first encounter with a Lange timepiece. For me, it was my father's watch shop, where a Lange one sat among a sea of other luxury watches. I was 16, but even then, I could tell there was something different about it. The way light caught its immaculate finishing, how the big date windows seemed to float above the dial, and that asymmetrical design that somehow looked perfectly balanced. It was love at first sight. This brand became the benchmark of what fine watchmaking could achieve, the pride of Glashütte, the phoenix that rose from the ashes of post-war Germany to reclaim its position among watchmaking's elite. But something has changed. In recent years, I've watched with concern as this titan of high horology has begun to stumble. The secondary market tells a story that no watch enthusiast wants to hear. Today's video is a deep dive into what's happening with my dream brand, our dream brand. Because sometimes understanding how something precious was lost is the first step toward finding a way back. Let's get into it. Welcome back. My channel provides independent market analysis. I'm not a watch dealer, and I don't do paid posts or sponsorships. I buy my data from watch charts to get the latest numbers. And yeah, let's get into the numbers because they tell a fascinating story about where Lange stands today. What we're looking at is a tale of two metals, and it might surprise you. We see something that would have been unthinkable a few years ago. The steel Odysseus is commanding a remarkable 33% premium in the market. We're talking about a watch that retails for $39,000, selling for $52,000. This premium tells us that demand is significantly outstripping supply, which is exactly what you'd expect from a prestigious brand like Lange. But look at what's happening. The white gold version is telling a completely different story. Despite its higher retail price of $55,000, it's currently trading at $45,000 in the market. That's an 18% discount. Now, as watch enthusiasts, we need to ask ourselves, what's going on here? The premium on steel isn't only about material scarcity. It could be a fundamental shift in collector preferences. The modern watch collector wants something they can wear daily, something that combines prestige with practicality. Steel delivers exactly that. This data suggests that Lange has a hit with their steel sports watch strategy, tapping into the current yearning for luxury sports watches. But the significant discount on the white gold model signals a broader challenge. The traditional precious metals dress watch market, which has been Lange's bread and butter, appears to be softening. This brings us to a crucial question. Is this simply a case of changing consumer preferences, or is there something bigger happening with the brand's positioning in the market? Let's dive deeper into what's really driving these market dynamics by looking at something that watch enthusiasts love to debate: complications. And things get really interesting. When we break down Lange's lineup by complexity, we see three distinct tiers, each telling its own story. At the top, we have the ultra complications: the Richard Lange Tourbillon and the Terra Luna, both hovering around $250,000. These are the horological equivalents of haute couture, stunning pieces of engineering that showcase what's possible in watchmaking. But here's the twist. These ultra complicated masterpieces are experiencing the steepest depreciation, with the top model losing over $117,000 in market value. That's a staggering 46% drop. Think about that for a moment. Some of the most technically impressive watches in the world are struggling to maintain their value. But here's where it gets really telling. Look at the market for these high complications. The data graph: platinum, retailing at $121,000, is trading at $73,000. The Zeitwerk date, starting at $132,000, finds its market at $93,000. These numbers suggest that while there's still depreciation, there's also relatively strong collective demand for these price points. The simple complications, like the 1815 chronograph and the Lange 1 time zone, priced under $100,000, are showing the most stable market performances. These pieces offer the essential Lange DNA: impeccable finishing, practical complications, and that distinctive German engineering at a more accessible price point. What this data suggests is a fascinating paradox in today's watch market. The most expensive and complicated pieces, while technically impressive, are facing the steepest value decline at 46%. The simpler pieces under 100,000 offer stability, but it's the high complications category that's emerging as the true sweet spot in the portfolio, as long as you buy the secondary market. These pieces hit the perfect balance of exclusivity and accessibility. They're complex enough to appeal to serious collectors, yet not so astronomically priced as to limit their market. With retail prices between 100,000 and 200,000, they represent what might be the optimal expression of Lange's capabilities, and the market seems to agree. Let's talk about something that's absolutely fascinating in the current Lange market, case materials. And what we're seeing here tells us volumes about where the watch market is headed. When we look at the data, one number jumps out immediately, the stunning 32% premium on steel models. Well, it's basically the Odysseus, Lange's only steel sports watch, is commanding a market price significantly above retail. Now, to put this in perspective, that's a 13,000 premium over retail price. But here's the other thing. Every other case material, and we're talking about precious metals here, is trading at a discount. White gold is down 29%. Rose gold has fallen 31%, and platinum shows the steepest decline at 39%. What we're seeing here is a complete inversion of traditional luxury watch values. The most modest material is now the most desirable, while precious metals, traditionally symbols of exclusivity, are struggling to maintain their value. This tells us something crucial about the modern collector. They're prioritizing wearability and versatility over traditional prestige. The fact that the steel Odysseus is the only Lange model commanding a premium isn't merely a trend. It's a clear signal about where the market is heading. But here's the challenge for Lange. With only one steel model in their entire collection, are they properly positioned to capitalize on this shift in consumer preference? You know what's fascinating about the Odysseus story? It's rewriting the rules of what makes a luxury watch successful in today's market. Let me share something incredible with you. We've identified 4 key factors that are driving this success, and what they tell us about the future is simply extraordinary. The biggest game changer, steel availability with a stunning 34% market impact. Think about that. Our single steel model has created such intense demand that it's reshaping the entire market approach. And it gets even more interesting. Daily wearability comes in at a 28% impact. This is revolutionary for a brand like Lange. Our collectors aren't just collecting these watches, they're actually living with them. They're making these pieces part of their daily lives. The price accessibility factor at 25% tells another compelling story. We're not just selling watches, we're opening doors for a whole new generation of collectors who've wanted to join the Lange family, like me. And here's what really excites me. Modern design drives 22% of the impact. It proves that Lange can push boundaries while keeping their soul intact. That's not only success, that's evolution. So where do we go from here? Our short-term moves are bold, expanding steel offerings, revolutionizing availability communication, creating more pieces for everyday wear. And long-term, we're dreaming bigger. New materials, an expanded sports luxury collection, and building the strongest collector community in the industry. This is a vision for Lange's future. The Odysseus hasn't just succeeded, it's showing us a whole new way forward. And when you combine Lange's legendary excellence with these modern market insights, well, that's when magic can really happen. See you in the next video.